Hi everyone, good morning. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Well, it's a beautiful morning here in Pennsylvania. I think we're about to get to 94 degrees, but the humidity is really low. So I may not start sweating until 8:30 this morning. So that would really be a blessing. But I have the stand already set up for the day, and now what I need to get around to is some succession planting for fall flowers. I already have a lot of those successions completed, but still more need to go into the ground. So today I thought I would just show you what I've got going on and also talk you through how do I know if I have enough time left in the growing season to plant certain varieties of flowers. And I thought too it might be helpful, just as I've been looking around the garden this morning, to look at all the different successions that I have going on now. There's a lot of areas where I have planted the same exact flower but at different times so that I have that steady supply of blooms. So I thought after we get all our work done, we could just take a quick look around at those successions so that you can see what it looks like to really have a succession planted cut flower garden. Because especially if you're small scale like me, I really don't think I could turn the profit that I'm going for without doing succession planting all growing season. I am thinking about succession planting mid-April all the way through mid-October. I need to have focal flowers blooming non-stop. And so let me show you how I go about doing that here on half an acre. So how to figure out if you have enough time left to plant a certain variety of flower this late in the season is just to gather two pieces of important information. First, you need to know how many days are left in your growing season, and then you need to know the days to maturity for the certain variety of flower that you want to plant. So let me just use myself and what I'm planting today as an example. Today is July 26th, and my first expected frost day, or average first frost day, is October 15th. So I know I have approximately 80 days left in the growing season. So I can really plant anything that reaches maturity in 80 days or less. And that's really quite a lot of flowers. So what we're going to be planting today are Rose Bonbon Cosmos, which reach maturity in approximately 75 days, but I can also use them just as a foliage cut, even if they don't flower and we get an earlier frost. And I'm also going to be planting pro-cut sunflowers. I'm always planting pro-cut sunflowers because I need them as consistent focal flowers here for bouquet work. And pro-cuts generally have a maturity date of 55 to 65 days. So I have plenty of time to just continually plant pro-cuts. I will be planting pro-cuts well into mid-August. So where you find out the days to maturity, if you buy from somewhere like Johnny's, it will tell you right on the packet. It'll just say, days 55 to 65. But even if I don't buy from Johnny's, if I buy from another seed company and that days to maturity is not on the seed packet, I will just go to the Johnny's website and type into their search bar the exact variety of flower that I'm planting, and the days to maturity will come up under the growing section. And if it's a flower that they don't sell, I'll just do some Googling until I find out days to maturity for that specific variety. And just as a friendly reminder, remember here, it's really important that you put in the variety, that you don't just put in Zinnia, Sunflower, Cosmos, Nigella. Put in the exact variety because maturity dates differ depending on variety. So with all that being said, let's get to work. I've already removed the Bells of Ireland and the Scabiosa from one bed. That's where the Rose Bonbon Cosmos are going. I'm just direct seeding them. It's very hot. I'll just keep the bed nice and moist until they germinate. And then I'm going to be pulling out, which might be a little painful to watch, I'm gonna be pulling out the Lumiere and the Espresso Gladiolas that were absolutely just so phenomenal, so beautiful. I really did not expect specifically the Lumiere to be so beautiful. To be honest, I thought I wouldn't really care for the color, but I'm completely in love with it, and I didn't just want to throw them in the compost pile, so my mom said she would like them for her garden. So I'm going to be pulling a lot of those up, putting them in a bucket. Any that don't look good, I'm just going to go ahead and compost them. And then what I'm going to do is replace that area with the Pro-Cut Gold Light DMR F1 sunflowers. Well guys, I'm glad to have all that done, and it's getting pretty hot out here, but let's take a quick look around and see all my different pro cuts and zinnias real quickly. The first area with pro cuts are actually budded up, and I anticipate them to come on right as all my lilies are finishing. And that's something I take into consideration too. When I have things blooming, like my main crop of lilies, all the gladiolas, I can kind of ease up on my sunflower planting. But as soon as my lilies are done out here, since I grow everything in the field, I don't have a greenhouse or a hoop house or anything like that, I'm super reliant on these sunflower successions to be my main focal flower until the dahlias behind me can kind of take over. So let's just walk through all these raised beds and you can kind of see the difference in the growth pattern here. So here I have dahlias that I started inside, and these are all pretty much blooming now. I have my cafe, my breakout, always reliable Cornell blooming. Over here I have some newer varieties that I'm trying, and I just planted the tubers in the ground. I didn't bother to start them inside early. But now let's take a look at what I feel like is really important to me are these pro cut successions. So we have the oldest succession here, and from the look of them, I anticipate about 1.5 to 2 weeks on these before I'm ready to cut them. You want to cut them just as the petals are lifting. Oh, here's an earwig on this one. But you can see it's budded up right now. So we're looking good. And my hope with this planting is that right as my lilies are done, these sunflowers are ready to take over in terms of my focal flower here. Now here's the next succession of pro cuts. So you can see they're a few weeks behind. The one I planted after that is in this last bed. These are my pro cut reds. These were planted about 1.5 weeks ago. And then of course, we just seeded Pro-Cut Gold Light DMR F1 right here. So that'll be my last planting. And of course, we put the Rose Bonbon Cosmos right here. And you can see I already need to water again. It's that hot, it's already dried up. Here's some different successions of zinnias. And I have one blooming heavily in the driveway garden now, I can show you. But these are my Baneri giant coral zinnias. And they're budded up. So I hope for these to bloom alongside these pro cuts. And then if we just back up a bit, you can see a different wave of zinnias planted later. These are my Moulin Rouge zinnias. And I'm not sure if maybe we can remember what all has went through these beds, but you know, many things have come in and out of these beds just in 1 year, right? We had the tulips there, then we had nigella, we had ranunculus over there, we had Dara here and delphinium, bells of Ireland, and goodness, I'm drawing. I had other pro cuts back there. I had Orlea here. So these are really hard-working beds. They're always being changed out. I just replenish them with a little bit of compost before planting, and then they're back to work. But let's look at the zinnias in the driveway so you can see those too. And it's a little sunny over here in the driveway garden now, but you can see here are my queen lime with blush zinnias, and I definitely do have powdery mildew on this succession. So at this point, I'm really not cutting from them at all anymore, and I will just wait for those Baneri corals to come in. So I picked up this mini Mauvette hydrangea at Lowe's last night, and I think I want to stick it around the corner in the hydrangea garden because I have a mini Mauvette here. I have Invincible Spirit here, and so I think I would like to add a little bit of the pink smooth hydrangea over there, and nothing too tall because I don't want to block off the fence space. So when I saw these were 50% off, I thought 13 bucks, you got a deal. So let's just have some fun, get her in the ground, and then I think we'll call it a day out here. Well guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Things have gotten pretty loud out here now and I'm pretty hot and sweaty. I think it's time for my second shirt of the day. Usually around this time of year, it's a 2-shower, 3-shirt kind of situation. But I hope it was helpful to see that, yes, I am still definitely planting things here at late July. I will still be seeding pro cuts well into August. And if you would like to join me for that journey, just let me know. So I want to wish you a great day out in your gardens. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and happy gardening. Bye.